We're messing around with a different type of randomizer. We're utilizing the integrated randomizer tool that Mozilla made. So all of the randomization is being handled by the game itself, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Our plan for today is we are playing the adventure mode preset. We are going to also be limiting our levels. So we're going to be level 1 throughout the entire game. It's a little bit of a challenge mode rando. And I think that's basically it. Oh, all of the good gear is removed from the game. So no crystogrims, no duplicators, none of the good stuff. We're just going to hop in, basically a challenge randomizer with every check being available at level 1. We'll see how what happens. 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's do it. We're also skipping the prologue. So yeah, we're not going to find any of the super overpowered stuff, so we're going to have to use what we find in the most efficient ways possible. We could start anywhere in the castle, by the way. We have random castle starts, either Castle 1 or Castle 2. It seems like it's going to be a Castle 1 start. Starting with Dark Shield, not bad. Strength Potion, also pretty... This is like on the upper end of like mid equipment. I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. This is pretty damn good. It also depends on where we spawn here. Okay, we get a free check, which is nothing. Okay. Let's freaking go, gamers. Interesting. Interesting. So that's a lot of checks. You could also see that I can pull up like the relics that I currently have as well. So interesting.
What up? It's your boy Count Streamula here, back at it with another video. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about which direction to go. I think it's probably safer to go Clock Tower for now. Instantly dies to fall damage. Dude, if fall damage was in this game, let's go. Elvin, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. Appreciate the prime. Hello? Hello? Oh my god, the hitbox on that. All right, well, keep that in mind. Hitbox bad. Damn, the tracker has smallpox. Come on, man. Imagine fall damage in SotN. We tried fall damage. The way it's implemented currently is a little... how you say, janky, for sure. But it is what it is. I think we go back to castle entrance to start, just as a means of, like, staying safe. Do I want to play co-op on the new rando tools? That's something I wouldn't mind trying. This is a adventure mode, level 1 rando, with all of the S-tier gear removed from the game. Iron Fist, though, that's actually pretty decent. Let me put the gauntlet on, and this is better damage as well. Honestly, we're in a really good spot. We got very lucky. We also have a Strength Potion as well in the back pocket. Life Max Up, unironically, pretty useful here. This is on it. Like, it doesn't look like it. It might not feel like it, but this is what good luck looks like. Like, we're actually having a lot of really good luck right now. I believe those items are not item checks. Yeah, they are not. Iron Fist is A tier. Why is that here? I do think Iron Fist is probably too good. Like, this attack alone is probably too good. But hey, I didn't make this randomizer. That's a hashtag not my code moment. No IQ check? Yeah, you know me. I've got 0 IQ. It's backslash, actually. Canonically, my IQ is backslash. That shit underflowed. I've actually been thinking about making a new tier list for just all SotN items. Because the last time I made one was a few years ago, and my opinions on certain items have definitely changed. Like, I probably wouldn't have thought of Iron Fist as like an A-tier weapon, but nowadays I kind of think it is. Maybe we can rope some people into a race. Dude, a co-op race would be fun. A 2v2? I'm down. We used to do 2v2 races all the time. Well, not all the time, but we did a couple. Also, I should be probably grabbing life max ups, I'm not going to lie. It's a little greedy of me not to, because I'm not going to level up, so. Why do you always test the cool stuff when I'm not available? Don't worry, Major Seaman. You'll have your chance to I'm trying to think of a pun here that isn't just cum. Splooge onto the scene. Darkblade! Dude, this is like an A+ tier weapon! Did something go wrong? What is Darkblade doing here? I'm starting to think that the item restrictions didn't work. Darkblade's insane! So maybe it wasn't Mott's fault that the weapon... Like, Mott doesn't think that it's, like, not an A-tier weapon. It's just that the item restriction randomization didn't happen. It's possible this version of the integrated rando has, like, a bug in it or something when it comes to random item placements. No, I thought I clicked no S-tier weapons and no A-tier weapons. I guess that would make sense, because I think, honestly, Dark Shield might be A-tier as well. Even without the shield rod, it is just additional damage that you get to do for free. Well, never mind. Then yeah, that's probably just a bug in the integrated rando right now. I'm sure not every single combination of settings has been tested thoroughly, which makes sense. So. But yeah, if you guys don't mind waiting for me to finish this, I'm down to hop on co-op whenever after this. How old is integrated rando? This version is from October of 2025, I want to say. So it's relatively old. It's a few months old. And to my understanding, I don't think it was like super thoroughly tested. I'm not forgetting any item checks, am I? That I have access to? No. Well, we have to check this, even though we didn't see a... Oh, it's a heart. Nice. Update my randomizer. Is this not the updated version? I didn't know there was a more current version of the integrated rando. I could be wrong. To be fair, nobody likes missing out on cool weapons. You're not wrong. I'm still gonna have fun with it, so... Oh! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I mean, I also like just starting with a shield. Being able to shield dash just makes the pace of the randomizer feel so much better. One of the things, weirdly enough, I'm kind of like full circling on is my opinion on like shield dashing as a form of skill expression. And not in a good way. I don't think the measure of being able to shield dash fast is like a good thing to measure as a skill. But I was thinking about it. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was writing up my randomizer tournament manifesto, if you will, if we want to call it that as a joke. You know what? Let's do it. Let's just be overpowered. One of the things I was thinking about was how skill is demonstrated in Symphony of the Night, and just in a general case. Like, how do you express your skill in a way that gives you an advantage in, like, a race situation? And one of the things that I thought about, unironically, was shield dashing, even if it's a minor advantage. People who are more dexterous, more skilled in being able to mash shield dashes do get a real tangible advantage. That is, whether we like to think of mashing as a, you know, skill that is worth celebrating or prioritizing. I don't think we should. I don't think mashing is that big of a deal. I don't think it's that skillful, all things considered. But I'm like, damn, that is a tangible skill that lets you move significantly, not significantly, but noticeably faster than somebody else. And, like, that doesn't exist for a lot of other stuff in the game, and it's more contextual, right? Like, if me and my opponent are able to perform infinite wing smashes, then, like, there's few things I can do to save time over them. It's not like I can perform the wing smashes in a statistically better way. I mean, you can if you're accounting for, like, you know, mana management and, like, minuscule ways of mitigating, like, misbats and stuff like that. But it's, like, less noticeable, I guess. It's like, after you reach a certain point, if you can wing smash relatively decently, it's like, how do you continue to develop a skill gap that has a meaningful impact on your end time or whatever. And that was one of the things I was trying to rack my brain around, is like, does Symphony of the Night kind of just have like a skill floor that once you hit, you're kind of like there? Or is that just a byproduct of the way that the randomizer rewards, you know, routing decisions as opposed to minor movement optimizations? Maybe if we were doing less randomized races, more like vanilla races, then those minor movement changes would matter more. I don't know. It's also possible that I am just poopy. It is very possible. I don't know. Thank you, Kid, for the 8 months. I appreciate you. And also, I understand that I'm pretty biased with this sort of stuff, too, because I just have a decade-plus worth of muscle memory and knowledge that is just ingrained into me. So things that I don't think are difficult, like, oh, yeah, like you can do wing smash chains through a, you know, long hallway. Like, that can't be that hard. But in reality, maybe that's just a bit of an elitist opinion, when in reality, like, you know, the time it takes to get to that point is a real skill that is worth, you know, rewarding or whatever. And worth celebrating. But also there are additional skill checks on top of that that I think, like, you get diminishing returns on, and maybe that's just natural. Maybe it's natural that the amount of time saved that you can squeeze out of a game gets less and less the more, the higher the skill floor becomes for the community.
I'm interested.
Like, back in the day, when the randomizer first came out, myself and Talek kind of just swept most races because we just had more consistent movement than everybody else by a large margin out of the people who joined races. At least who joined races regularly. Every once in a while, we would get somebody like Ben, or I think Romscout was in a couple of the early game ones, and like those were more toss-ups. But can we just get some library cards and call it a day? Probably.
Farewell for now.
Takes years to get good with those. Well, depending on how your practice looks for you, I could see it. Yeah. I think we have the tools and the community know-how that if somebody was really dedicated to it, they can get like world record good in like a matter of a couple of months, less than a year, easily. Like if you just sit down and dedicate, I need to check these items, dedicate like a couple hours a day, maybe even just like an hour a day to practice, you could probably get world record level good if you practice efficiently and have the skills and tools to know how to practice efficiently. You could probably get there in like, I want to say like 5-6 months, honestly. Oh wait, I'm level 1. I can't soul steal. It's fine. I wanted the Dark Metamorphosis to keep healthy from the blood. Also interesting, I've never really thought about it. When you kill the flea armor, blood comes off, and then you get more blood when you kill the flea man itself. Interesting. I think the way that most players tend to spend their time in the community, which is not like a bad thing, and I'm not admonishing this in any way, is that they're more interested in just kind of playing randomizers over and over and over again, because it's a more fun, casual way to practice. And I'm even guilty of this. I've spent, you know, the last 6 years mostly focusing on playing randomizers and not doing that much speedrunning and like hardcore practicing. But I also have like much more latent hours of practicing. So I don't know. I'm trying to keep my mind open on the subject, not trying to just say like, oh, SotN's easy video game, baby for babies, even though I do say that a lot. But I think the actual reality of the matter is a little bit more nuanced. It's embarrassing how bad I am at the game. I don't think that's the case. I think it's like, I don't think you should feel any sort of, like, your skills in a video game do not matter in any meaningful way, and that's coming from a guy who plays this game as a living. I should be, like, upgrading my health. Like, it really doesn't matter.
Act like a stupid, dumb, stinky baby who shits his pants in diaper and goes, wah!
I think it's just a different way to appreciate the game, and that's a perspective that I'm, like, evolving over time. Like, I probably would have said, like, oh yeah, somebody who is better at the game is, you know, by definition, more admirable. But I don't think that's necessarily true anymore. At least in my perspective. That is a perspective I maybe would have had when I was younger and, like, only cared about getting good. But now I care much more about, like, community aspects of the game and less so about, like, individual, like, feats of skill. And don't get me wrong, I think it's important that we have skill as a measurement of admiration. Like, if someone does something impressive and skillful, I want people to understand it and, like, admire it for what it is. But I do think that there's also admiration that can come from just being a consistent community member and being somebody who is, like, providing positive community vibes. I think that is unironically a very underrated aspect of any community or speedrunning communities in general. Oh, I didn't check under the librarian's butt. Let me go do that, actually. Being someone who shows up and is, like, nice to be around and provides, like, fun community interactions is, like, just as important in a lot of ways for the sustainability of a community as, like, people wanting to grind and get better at a game or whatever. Because, like, why would you want to grind a game when the community is full of a bunch of jerks that you don't want to be around? You know what I mean? Let's make up a game, for example. We'll call it Stinky Poo Poo's Tower Adventure 64. Let's say I'm really interested in speedrunning Stinky Poo Poo's, and, like, I have the chance to get, like, really good at the game. And, like, let's say there's even financial reasons to do so. Like, oh, I'll get, like, 10x the viewership if I start speedrunning Stinky Poo Poo's and get world record. People really love Stinky Poo Poo's. But if the average community interactions, if the poo-poo heads, if you will, are shit to be around, then it's like, okay, do I really want to spend my time in that community, even if there are other benefits for doing so? It becomes harder to justify that decision. I don't think I can think of an actual real-life example where the community is a Stinky Poo Poo adventure, but I know they do exist. They must, surely. Surely they must exist. Gamers playing video games keeps the community alive. Yeah, and I am of the opinion, and I said this as well, that I also think that people pushing the game forward via high-level play is a huge part of keeping communities alive and keeping interest alive. I think casual playthroughs and, like, casually appreciating the game can only take a community so far, especially if the game itself does not continue to get re-released or updated regularly. Symphony of the Night being a great example of that. Or if the updates slash re-releases are not ideal for the community, like Dracula X Chronicles, for example, and the PS4 release is not ideal. Okay. There we go. You guys want to see some crazy shit, actually? Ooh, first of all, gravity boots, that's crazy. Second of all, highly, highly recommend right now, if you're not already following Classic Advent's Twitch channel, you guys should go follow Classic Advent. He's been recently trying to get the any % bad ending world record, and I saw the route he's going for. It's actually fucking nuts. So if you want to see some high-level shit, definitely check out Advent's Twitch channel. He's doing some crazy shit that not even I would think to go for, which I very much respect. He's doing luck mode as the means of trying to beat the any % bad ending record. And don't get me wrong, the any % bad ending record is bad. Like, I did not execute the route very well, but the route I was going for was so luck dependent that I eventually just kind of gave up once I got a world record with that route. But Advent's going for a route that in my mind is just going to be like the optimal route. And also doesn't rely on as much RNG, but also is RNG dependent at the same time. It's fucking insane. He's trying to do a luck mode. Spoilers. If you don't want to hear the bad ending route spoilers, I guess mute your screen for 2 seconds. He's trying to play in luck mode and use the flea ladder to get all the way up to Richter to kill Richter, essentially, using like the leapstone. And in luck mode, you can't kill the flea riders with your dive kick very easily. It takes like 2 or 3 kicks, which means your dive kicks essentially have to be perfect Because if you dive kick off of a flea rider and you don't kill it with the dive kick like that, you have a very high likelihood that you hit the flea rider and the flea rider hits you at the same time. So it's insanely precise. And on top of that, you have to deal with like the random patterns that the flea riders are giving you. So yeah, I've been lurking in his channel every once in a while and watching him attempt it, and it looks insane. But he's getting paces that are like way faster than my run by a lot. It's just a matter of getting the actual dive kick strategy. Like, it's very cool. He's come up with a lot of really unique strats as well. That's one of the things that I really admire about Advent, is that he is able to, on kind of his own merits, like develop strategies that end up being faster than stuff that a lot of us have like not really thought too heavily on, but it is real advancement. Like a lot of the strategies I'm doing at 90% now, I'm just straight up stealing from Advent. Those are optimizations that he found. Yeah. I misheard. Can I do a shout out? How does this work? How do you do this? I think this works. There you go. You should see the pop up there on the channel to just like click follow. But yeah, it's stuff like that that makes me just feel good, I guess, about the community in a lot of ways, because it's like stuff like that where there's no reason other than pure passion for the game to do something as stupid as grind out a category that is so brutal, like any percent bad ending. It's genuinely awesome, and I can't like say anything more positive about it. Well, I think I'm gonna go clockwise or counterclockwise through. Well, it's probably better to do it through entrance. Actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, the 80% bad ending route. I don't know what the task route is exactly. I don't know if there is a task route, but I think Advent is probably closer to an optimal route than I ever was. Because I went out of my way to farm for a thrust sword to wolf rise up there. Meal ticket, sad. Oh yeah, there's a... Oh, I guess I don't really care about the library card. I have library cards, and I can buy more. No! Credit for keeping the game alive. I mean, in a way, I'm not unaware that me continuing to play this game, and honestly, a big part of it was just having a randomizer to continue to play this game in a lot of new and weird and unique ways. So, I mean, I don't think I would continue to play this game as actively as I do if it wasn't for the randomizer existing and continuing to be developed and updated over time. So, like, to me, it's like, yeah, I'm obviously aware that me continuing to play the game is, like, good for the community, obviously. But there are other people who are doing similar things to me, like Advent, or just ultimately, you know, providing tools for the community to continue to play the game in new ways, like the randomizer devs. And there's also just, like, dope-ass people in the community that are worth spending time with, which continues the positive reinforcement of me continuing to play this game. So, I don't know. It's an ecosystem. Keeping it more alive than Konami does. Yeah. But I mean, that's not hard. Like, half-assing CPR would be better than what Konami is doing, you know what I mean? Karma coin. See, me, on the other hand, my existence in this world is mostly just to flip coins and get you guys to throw your money, your fake internet money, on coin flips. Let's be real.
I am a large piss boy. Not a little one. Large.
We've been talking about this. The jury's out on the size of this piss boy, but sources say that he is quite large. Interesting. Hold on one second. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Yeah, so far the whole level 1 challenge part of the run hasn't been too
Back in
challenging.
my day, I used to lick every doorknob in the neighborhood and no one batted an eye. Now I go to jail.
Can we get some legislation on this, actually? Can we fix the world? Can we legalize door licking again? Doorknob licking? If we can legalize gay weed, surely. Thank you, X-Todd. It's illegal? I mean, I went to jail for it. How many checks are in here? Not that many, right? Well, that's something I do want. Whoa! I wasn't looking. I done felled off, just like in real life. How does doorknob licking compare to window licking? Oddly enough, more intimate. More people feel a sense of disturbance from the doorknob licking than the window licking, even though they can see you when you do the window licking. It's weird. Very weird. Wow. I'm getting a few comments on the YouTube chat talking about their own personal speedrun, like casual speedrun times. And honestly, I think that's awesome. The way I got into speedrunning this game was just by being a fan of like ROM Scout and just general speedrunning as a whole, and then taking the small bits of knowledge and like skips and stuff that I thought I could do on my own, and then just implementing them into my casual runs. You know, I'm just gonna do this. And then eventually getting more and more comfortable doing those, adding more skips, adding more tech to my casual runs. And then eventually I said, you know what? Screw it. I could do this whole any percent thing. How bad could it be? But yeah, it was a good time. I very much am happy I did it. And now I can play with one hand and drink coffee at the same time. Don't mind that it's 4:20 right now. All right, no more coffee. Okay. You know what? Watch this. Jewel Knuckles. That didn't kill him nearly as fast as I thought it would. I should finish SotN with one hand one day. That doesn't sound too difficult. Back in the day, I did do a couple of like weird challenge runs like that. Like I played with the controller upside down. That's the shit we used to do before the randomizer came out, by the way. Before we had the randomizer, the best thing we could do for challenge runs was like, hey, what if I hold the controller upside down and try and beat the game? Yo, is that the rip of Vlad? So we're currently at 1 Vlad. Awesome. Rock Band drum kit. A lot of people, they talk about the Rock Band drum kit when it's like, doesn't the Rock Band drum kit have like a D-pad on it? I could just use that to move around. I mean, you have to use that to move around. Doesn't it also have face buttons? How tough could it be if you have a little baby controller that you're just using this for? How bad could it be? What's the deal? Yo, is that Power of Mist? Hold on, I haven't hit a single quick grab. Fuck! I'm washed! I'm cooked! I'll never be good at the game. How else will I save a 0.2 seconds? Sometimes it's closer to like 0.5. Sometimes it's closer to like 0.8, to be honest. I don't need those knuckles, whatever they are. I think it's Knuckle Duster, because personally, I don't really know her. I don't feel comfortable going for the Knuckle Duster. Oh, bull. Okay, I think with all of this, we want to go Auroch's quarters. We can't do the Auroch's fight itself because we don't have a transformation yet, sadly. I've always thought about trying a DDR pad, but then it's like, then I have to have a DDR pad, and I can glitch myself into Auroch's quarters. I can do Auroch's quarters, but not the actual boss fight. Because I think I have a heart refresh, right? Nope, I don't have a heart refresh. Never mind. We'll just go the old-fashioned way. Speaking of FromSoft challenge runners and challenge runs in general, one of the ideas I had for a challenge run, which on reflection is not really much of a challenge run, but I think could maybe just be a title and thumbnail that people will click on, is trying to beat the game as Doppelganger, where I just take Doppelganger's relics and movement and items and try and beat the game. And then I thought about it for 0.2 seconds, and I'm like, that would be so insanely easy. Even if I hard locked myself at level 10, the entire run, that still is so insanely easy. It's not much of a challenge. Much in the same way that this isn't much of a challenge. Because I'm pretty sure... Doesn't Alu... Or Doppelganger, which sword is he using? Is he using the Alucard sword? I have to play like his AI? Now you're talking. Hold on. That increases the challenge tremendously. Speaking of Doppelganger, do we know how to change the color of the shadows that follow Alucard? Is that another thing that can get randomized at some point? I was recently messing around with some items in... Ooh, Spikebreaker. Harmony of Dissonance. And one of the things that I found out about Harmony of Dissonance is the fact that the capes in that game don't actually change Juiced's sprite, which makes sense, it's a Game Boy Advance game. But what they do is they change the trail, the shadow that follows him, and changes the color of that, and I thought that was pretty cool. So something like that for SotN could be fun. Is there a use what you get mod, auto-equip? That could be interesting. I've talked about it a few times on stream. The issue with Symphony of the Night is if you use the, like, memory, what's the word I'm thinking of? Ooh, I'll take Luminous. If you use like the spot in memory that holds Alucard's equipment and forcibly change the equipment, what ends up happening is it can cause the game to like become unstable or even crash, because the game wants to see this or whatever it is in the background that causes the menu to pop up. That is what actually loads in the equipment properly, like the sprites and the attributes of it and whatever. So if you don't have the menu opening, you can like easily crash the game and mess stuff up. I messed around with like a equipment randomizer script that I made a long time ago, where like every, I think it was like 60 seconds or something, it like shuffles your equipment completely, and I ended up crashing the game a lot with that. So finding a way to do it where it's not overly cumbersome that you're constantly seeing like, you know, the menu pop up against your will is really annoying. Plus, you would also have to find a way to force players to pick up items. And then you would also need to find a way to make it interesting, because so many of the items in SotN are just like, oh wow, it's a food item that takes up an inventory slot. Like imagine you're doing a use what you find challenge, and then all of a sudden you pick up a Frankfurter and you're like, well, I used the Frankfurter, now all I have is my fists. So you'd be using your fist like 90% of the time. Or if you pick up a library card, it's like, okay, well now I can't use any weapons until I use this library card. So you'd have to remove a lot of those items, I think. I think, wasn't Weecock messing around with the Spike Room darkness and trying to apply that to other rooms in the game, and it ended up not working? Also, speaking of not working, the map's not working over there. That item check that I just did just didn't update the map. Oh no, that map is just glitchy. You have to go all the way up if you want to get that map tile. I remember now. It's fine. I probably should have gotten that map tile and not confuse myself later, but it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, from my understanding, the darkness doesn't 100% work outside of that room. Is that Alucard mail again? I guess there are going to be repeats, huh? The way that this item randomization works on the integrated rando is slightly different. Once the game is fully decompiled and we get a full enemy randomizer, that's when the real challenge runs start. I mean, that's when we get a real randomizer, finally. I've been waiting this whole time. Jeez, a real randomizer? I wish. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe this level 1 challenge ain't much of a challenge now, is it? We're just playing the game at level 1 and doing the adventure mode in the integrated randomizer. Did I not check those items? Or is it just the map trolling me again? I'm going to go back and double check. I'm pretty sure I checked those items. Well, the tracker just doesn't disappear. I'm pretty sure I did, but I'm honestly not 100% paying attention. Saying I did this room. Did I not do the first one? The way that I thought about doing an auto-equip like script or mod, yeah, I did do this, would probably involve forcing the player to open the menu anytime they equip an item, and then forcing the player's like interaction box with items specifically, I don't know if that's possible, to be like the entire screen, such that if an item is on screen, you automatically pick it up, so that way you can't be forced to like try and dodge weapons and items and stuff. That'd be my thought of how to make a mod like that work, or even begin to work, but I don't know. I'm not a code guy. I've made like a handful of Lua scripts in my life, and they were all very painful, and I didn't understand what I was doing. But from my understanding, that's kind of what Lua is all about. I think making that kind of code work requires a karma coin flip. You are so right, actually. Hold on. What does the coin say about my future? Ah. Heads it is. Understandable. Have a nice day. What am I doing? I guess we're just looking for the next progression item, huh? We definitely did that check. We can't do all rocks yet. Oh, castle entrance. There's more stuff in castle entrance. Yeah, because we're missing progression. So it has to be either Power of Wolf or the Holy Mail location. I think those are the last things we haven't done. You're 7K away from another VIP badge. I mean, at that point, we have to come up with something better. I'll have to email Jeffrey Bezos and say, hey, I need the big VIP. That's one way to think of it. That's kind of like the simplified version, Ibram. Symphony of the Night is a game that is very finicky to work with in a like mod of context. Like the randomizer is by far the most complicated ROM hack this game has ever seen by a large margin. Like the largest modding hacking ROM hacking project that the game has ever seen by a wide margin. So the limitations that you're seeing in the randomizer are like very close to the true limitations of the game in its current state, without being able to essentially rebuild the game from scratch. Which is something that would require the entirety of the source code, which is not available currently. Thank you very much, Arakan. I appreciate that. Yeah, having the game fully decomped isn't even like the end. It's not like instantly you get a decomped, you know, version of the game, and then all of a sudden, like, you get the source code, and you're like, okay, time to open up the source code and start programming in enemy randomizer. Like, you still have to. There's a lot more work to go into it. Getting to 100% decompiled is just the first step. There's still, like, potentially years of work on top of that to get to a point where you're, you know, doing the type of shit you see in, like, Mario ROM hacks, where it's like, I put Half-Life 4 into Mario 64? What's this? Like, there are just, like, programs that you can download that let you just make Mario 64 maps as if you're, like, working in Blender. And that took years and years and years, and the game's been decompiled for years. Like, the Optimus Prime titty mod isn't going to just make itself. Everybody knows this. I can warp, but I'm going to do Forbidden Route because it's fun. It will be relatively fast in comparison to the decomp. Yes, depending on how it works and all that. I could see a world where once the game is decomped, then, like, you know, things will start to accelerate dramatically in the types of ROM hacks and, like, mods that can exist for this game. Without the randomizer, how fast can you beat SotN? Probably pretty fast. I've never really tried it before, though.
Double fist, two girthy things. Oh, the sickest movement!
It's just a cape. Honestly, do I want more swag? It's probably the same cape. Yeah, the PC port of Twilight Princess is pretty cool. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing the world record speedrun performed by me, you can type !WR in chat, and it'll bring up the world record leaderboards. Yeah, many of you may not know this, but when I'm not playing the randomizer, turns out sometimes I can be kind of fast at this game. Sometimes I can be kind of good. And sometimes I can be unlucky.
Wah, wah. I'm upset that I got bad luck in a randomizer. Wah.
But unironically, yeah. I'm self-aware that I'm a crying baby sometimes. It happens. Let he who is without crying like a little bitch cast the first negative comment in my YouTube channel. Is this a check? I guess, yeah, there's no equipment down here, normally. But now there is. Unlucky, try luck mode, that'll fix it. Honestly, dude, I should have done luck mode throughout the tournament. That would have been beast mode. Just intentionally nerfing all of my damage for no reason. But then I get chrysogrims every single run.
I'm sorry, I just have 99 luck.
I wish my parents named me X-X exclamation mark V apostrophe apostrophe Q. Well, if your parents were Elon Musk, there's a decent chance that that could have been your name. If Elon Musk gave a shit about SotN, first of all, I don't want to live in that universe. Unless he wants to just throw money at me, and then I can be like, dude, you're so cool. You totally grinded a Diablo by yourself. All those people who are saying you were botted, totally not true. Thanks for the $1 million donation. And then after that, I would, like, go to sleep like shaking and crying and pissing and farting, thinking about how I sold out. Wiping my tears with $100 bills. Yo! Empty hand. You're telling me I'm leaving the Succubus Nightmare Realm empty-handed? Yeah, everybody at Elon Musk and bully him into paying me, please. He is a little bit late on his rent. If someone gets disqualified for the Axe Armor code, we're doing mass protests. What do we want? I'm not really sure. When do we want it? I don't know. This was just kind of funny in my head, so I thought it would be fun to riot. What's the journalist up to? He's sleeping with the fishes, unfortunately. He got too close to the truth. He found the list of people who visited the island. Him being an aquatic creature, he was able to get much closer than terrestrial land creatures could. We miss AC-Chan? Me too, dude. Mostly because it's hot as fuck right now. I got my AC working as hard as it possibly can, but it's still tough out here. This one, actually, do I have healing? How much healing do I currently have? I have an elixir. That's probably good enough. Because I do want to do these item checks. Get the iframes from this. Oh my god. Perfect. Exactly what we need. Spirit Orb. I think I'm fine to do the elixir now, probably, but I'll save it, maybe for now. Oh, I could have waited. I had plenty of time. I wasn't even close to dying. Food? Nah, I hoard that shit. I'm gonna be real. Food in SotN is such a silly idea. I mean, it's important that it exists because a lot of people do end up using it in their casual playthroughs for healing. But like, if you're going out of your way to eat food, you did something really, really wrong. Speaking of doing something really, really wrong, I forgot an item check. Let's go back for it. Shouldn't have moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Oh wait, my MP! I'm like, why am I not flying? I have to go the slow way because I don't have enough fucking juice. Because I'm level 1. I got a burger though? Yeah. Alucard is secretly American. I was gonna say, imagine an American protagonist for a Castlevania game, and then I remembered Soma Cruz exists. Imagine Dracula, but as a burger. Where the fuck did he come from? Huh? Did you guys see that? What? Is that normal? That doesn't normally happen. Is his spawn location fucked up? That's crazy. I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he lived like that. That guy's nuts. Show me the Alucard. Oh. From my understanding, the nationality of Soma Cruz is dependent on the version of the game that you play. I believe he is just Japanese if you're playing the Japanese version. But for whatever reason, when they localized it to English, they made him like an American transfer student, which is funny. I believe that's the case. I like to think that Soma is American because he gets a gun. He stays fucking strapped. He keeps that motherfucking thing on him. Also, I think we can skip some complexity here. If I get that wolf, that'll let me do the all rocks checks out of logic, which might be required. The problem is the amount of healing I have is running low, and I think I might have to use some food here. I'm going to save just in case, because unironically, the amount of water damage I'm about to take could be tough. Not one, but 2 guns and a rocket launcher and a proton cannon. Don't forget the proton cannon. I mean, I need food because I'm doing a challenge run. I'm saying normally you don't really need these. I think, oh, I can get some iframes here as well. That might help. Stay alive. Okay. Time to take the plunge. Every day, every morning, cold plunge. Jump into the frigid waters of the caverns. It's part of your Sigma grind set. Let me start getting the food ready. That might be enough. Yeah, 1 gyros plate is all I need. Kind of like real life in a way. Imagine eating underwater. Yeah, that food's soggy as hell. He gets unlimited grenades. Someone gets unlimited grenades because he's using, like, the powers of a demon to spawn them. Much like in real life, munitions comes from a dark pact with the devil. That's how they were created. That's just correct. That's just lore accurate to the real world. Turn that food into soup. I'm at soup! Whoa! Nathan is also nuclear powered, that is correct. It's kind of like the Adventure Time lore, where magic powers are the result of a nuclear bomb. Nathan's arcane attunements is due to his proximity to nuclear waste. Dude, Circle of the Moon is a silly game. Do you guys know about the bear ring in Circle of the Moon? This is something I found out about recently, as I've been not like the biggest Castlevania fan when it comes to like knowing every little niche item in the game. I found out about the bear ring, and I was just like, dude, what the why is this a thing? Whose idea was this? They were straight smoking crack with that one. Nothing. I won't spoil it, but it's like a very dumb rare item that does really dumb and rare things. All right, our HP is low, but I'm not scared. Yeah, it definitely gets a bad rap nowadays for its like, or actually at the time it got a bad rap because the original Game Boy Advance did not have a backlight, so the game was just extremely dark. It's one of the reasons why Harmony of Dissonance is so insanely bright. And then Nintendo was like, okay, we'll make a upgraded version of the Game Boy that has a freaking light attached. And the SP was born. Still to this day, one of the greatest handheld consoles of all time, if not the greatest handheld console of all time. Like, I'm pretty sure my Game Boy SP, I could pull it out of the drawer that it's in and it would still work. It probably still has some battery life in there. My damage is still not that amazing, all things considered. I guess I could try and upgrade with the Moonstone. I don't really need the Mystic Pendant. The DS is probably, actually, probably the DS Lite, if I had to guess. But the DS, in general, is probably the greatest handheld of all time. In my opinion. Low-key, the PSP is not bad. Does have some issues, but it's not bad either. Isn't Luminous more damage than Darkblade? I don't think so. I think Darkblade is like one of the best weapons in the game as far as like basic swords goes. But I could be wrong. No, I'm right. We technically still haven't found the progression on this layer yet, I'm pretty sure. So I am going to keep going. Oh, well, there it is. Holy glasses. So it is very probable that my progression is designed to bring me to the second castle to get Snorkel to come back. I think I'm going to try and go for the... At level 1, this is actually going to be tough. I do have a Mana Prism, but I think I'm going to try and go for the Spikebreaker Skep, or Dark Room stuff. With the relics that I currently have, I just have Leapstone Gravity Boots and Wolf. It might not be super easy, but I should be able to do it. The only thing about the PSP that was just done better with the Vita is the dual analog stick. Only having one analog method on the PSP is very limiting. Oddly enough, having none on the DS just kind of made more sense because people kind of designed around it better, I feel like. But that's just me. I mean, there is an argument that the PSP is probably one of the greatest handhelds of all time as well. It did a lot for what... It was punching well above its weight at the time. Fuck. Because if I want to use these iframes, I can use the Anti-Venom and the Mana Prism that I have. And that's it. And I have one of each. So I could use the Anti-Venom to get over... Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. I think I'm in trouble. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Well, that's fine. We just cut our losses. I need more MP is the problem. Because I can't make it all the way to the next spot with this much MP. I have Spikebreaker. Fine! I'll be a baby about it. God... You guys don't want me to have any fun. It's not me forgetting that I had Spikebreaker this whole time. I would never. I was trying to do something fun. Thanks for reminding me, chat, that I have Spikebreaker. That's fine. We got rid of our invincibility items for no reason, but, you know, it adds to the challenge. Now I have to really care about taking damage. Ah, 1 damage. I only have 16 health left. I forgot the first rule, no fun allowed. You are so right. Also, by the way, if you're watching on Twitch, I do need to say this now. I'm legally obligated to tell you that ads are going to start in under 3 minutes. If you don't want to see the ads, you have to drop your Twitch Prime subscription right now. Jeffrey Bezos has a drone looking at your house right now. Click the button, please! Please, think of your family. Think of the children! Or don't. It's fine. Probably won't miss out on much. Ah! High complexity Doug Dimmadome set, yeah. Yeah, going all the way to Spikebreaker just to find a Dimdum set is pretty funny. It's like a weird joke in a way. It's almost as if the game is laughing at me for having my opinion that I don't think food is that useful in SotN. Which I don't think is a very controversial opinion, if I do say so myself. Give me the Twilight Cloak. Oh my... Yo! Why does it look like that? That's crazy. Whoa. Feels that Power Wolf? Hold on. It's coming together, folks. It's coming together. We still don't have Bat. We still don't have Mist. We only have 2 Vlads. What if I just kept this on screen the whole time? Hear me out. Oh yeah, you can't gravity jump while holding the select button. Did you guys know that? Or L2, I guess. This is technically L2. While holding L2, you can't gravity jump. Very strange. Why is that a thing? I don't know. This game is full of mysterious things. Spaghetti code. Delish. Yeah, there's an item check over here. Let's not forget it, because I'm probably just going to library card after this. Yo, Terminus? I don't think the Terminus is better damage than the Dark Blade either. That's just a guess that I have, though. Yeah. If I remember correctly, Dark Blade is, like, literally, as far as, like, normal swords, it's, I think, the best one besides, like Alucard, I think, is slightly better, maybe? But it's around, like, Alucard sword strength. And Alucard sword swings way faster. Oh, no! Ah! I'm in the mosh pit! Help! My friend told me the show was going to be chill, and it turns out we're listening to fucking Swedish deathcore. Help! Someone in the pit has brass knuckles, help me! Alright, we're good. L2 is probably used for dev functions. Yeah, probably. Yo, we got Skill of Wolf, Power of Wolf, and Soul of Wolf. With their powers combined, we can go moderately faster for 0.2 seconds until we run out of MP. Let's fucking go. Where's my librarian cartage? There it is. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to take a very, very short break while these ads run anyways. All right, we're back, everybody. What were we doing? We are probably going second castle now, or we can try and skip some logic real quick by doing the Alrox boss fight. Just in case. It could be Soul of Bat up there, so I think it's worth doing. Although Soul of Bat... No, Soul of Bat can be in logic as progression, because we need Soul of Bat plus Soul of Wolf in order to do the secret checks in the entrance. Is there anything fun I should be buying here, bro? I want something cool. I don't think we got anything. We got Magic Scroll 5. I can learn how to Soul Steal. This is just like healing and library cards. Whatever.
Farewell for now.
Yo, thank you, Radikas. I'm glad you enjoy the daily channel. Always happy that there's people out there enjoying some SotN. Yeah, progression in Adventure does go in some weird ways. I do need to remember that. Wow. Yeah, there is some tech. When you're in wolf form and you charge into an enemy, if you bark at them, it doesn't cost MP in order to hit them. So that's some huge tech to save yourself some MP when you're moving. It's some good MP management technology. So yeah, we just do all rocks real quick and then go second castle if we find nothing. DB daily videos are a cure to male loneliness. I don't think that's 100% true, but I will start using that as my tagline, so thank you. Subscribe to Dragon Blitz Daily, the cure to male loneliness. Whoa! Don't fall. As some of you guys might know, due to life circumstances, first of all, Suna, thank you for the tier 3 for 70 months. Holy shit! Everyone spam Hydro Storm now! Now! Go, 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 go!
Haven't said yet, but I'm digging the new Twitch profile pic.
Thank you. I think it's great. I'm very happy for the rebrand. The new Twitch profile pic goes crazy. But recently, you guys might not know this, but I moved. Not just once, but twice across the country. And 3 days ago, something like that. A few days ago, the neighborhood that we moved into did like this like neighborhood community like party thing. We got to meet a lot of people and get ingrained in the community a little bit more, me and my roommate. It was a great time. Moving twice, that sucks. Tell me about it. Hey, the first time we moved was bad. The second time, also bad. It was not great. If you can avoid it, don't, unless you absolutely have to, don't move cross country twice in under 6 months. It's not worth it. I'm not back in Florida now. I haven't really like told anybody where I'm at outside of obviously like people in my life, but as far as content goes, I haven't really been too specific. Just for like privacy reasons. But it is East Coast. I can at least say that. Like, that's pretty... You can probably figure that out based off of the... When I say that, like, oh, it's blank o'clock. Like, that... It would be very silly of me to assume that people couldn't figure out the... which coast I am on. There was nothing there, so I guess we got a second castle. What? Brazil? No. Also, isn't Brazil's East Coast like an hour ahead of the... U.S. East Coast, so I couldn't even call it East Coast and have the same time zone. Go to Brazil. My family's unironically considering doing a Brazil trip, so if that does ever happen, I'll definitely make sure to talk about it and take pictures and stuff. Flight to Canada? Nah. Brazil, Indiana? Indiana, I believe, is in... Like, I think the entire state of Indiana is in, Central Time. I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe, like, the very east of Indiana might be on East Coast time, because, or am I thinking of Ohio? I don't know, I'm not good at maps. In geography. I moved to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Yup, you caught me. I saw the name on a map and I said, I want to go there. Holy, what are they doing there? And when I said that there was a community event, it was the town orgy. Yes, you caught me. Streamer went to the town orgy in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. When I was talking about meeting the community. There's a town in England called Sluthole Lane. Oh, wow. Dude, why did you post my address in the chat, Crazy? What are you doing? How did you know? Just because you're tied up in the basement doesn't mean that you get to do cries for help like that. That's insane. Yo, is that the obsidian sword? 11 p.m. right now in Germany. Yo, shout outs to Germany. Greetings from Germany. Yorick, more like your dick. Got him. Yeah, the one downside of this randomizer challenge is, one, it's not very challenging, and two, are there Bloodstained randomizers? Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has a built-in randomizer inside of the game itself, and there's also a community-made randomizer. But I've never tried it, but I have heard conflicting things about it. The community-made randomizer, but I don't know. But they exist. Yo! I need this! Spike card. I don't have any other of the familiars, right? I have sword card. I need the devil. Me when I'm Satanist? Yeah, I think I'm in need of the devil. Chat, which circle of hell would you spend all of eternity in if you were in Dante's Inferno? Tag yourself. Ooh, I'm hoping I'm in Lust. Please tell me I'm in Lust. Purgatory. Oh man. Whoa. You telling me I'm just gonna get fucking lectured by Aristotle and shit for all time? Boo! I don't care what that old man has to say. Where do I go? Chat, should I go left side or should I go right side? I'll go right side this time. Mostly because I want to also check out, what's his name? Stinky doo-doo ass, Aquanon, there's his name. The Basement Brothers just did a video on the Inferno game on the PC-88. Oh, shit. I've never heard of that. Dante's Inferno is a weird one. Y'all ever play the Dante's Inferno game on PS3, Xbox 360? The, like, God of War clone that was about Dante's Inferno? I never actually owned the game, because I was far too young to be playing something that violent and sexual. But I did download the demo, and I played the demo a few times, and I was very uncomfortable with it. But I did get to see some titties as a kid. A teenager. I shouldn't say child. A young teenager. And that shit was pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it had so much boobs in it. And I'm just thinking about the concept of Dante the poet creating this, like, what is essentially like a Christian fan fiction almost, which propagates hundreds of years into the future just for the one of the most interesting adaptations of it to be produced in video game form. Shit's wild. So Nez dicks, that's true, and butt cracks. Oh, not the snipers of goth, bro. They're not even real goths. They're posers, bro. People think the Divine Comedy is what the Bible and the church teach. No, dude, Dante was just on one. This is something that I think it's understandable to have a understanding of Christianity through the lens of the Divine Comedy because it's just so prolific in society. But it's like, it's just fan fiction. It's just Christian fan fiction. It's insane. He literally has a self-insert main character who gets to talk with, like, sophisticated, what you call them? Like philosophers and shit like that. He gets to talk about how cool and epic and awesome he is. It's very funny. No, he put some of his friends in hell, I'm pretty sure. Like some of his, if I remember correctly, and granted, all the info I have on this is about a YouTube video that I watched probably like years ago, so some of the info is fuzzy, but I think some of the people that were sent to hell that had real life analogs were some of his friends. Which is fucking like, dude, imagine being friends with Dante and he comes out with like such a massive piece of like Christian literature, like the Divine Comedy, and then you read it and your name pops up and you're in like the 9th circle of hell. And you're like, dude, what the fuck? I thought we were chill. What do you mean I'm in fucking brimstone and fire for the rest of existence? God damn it, bro. I thought we were chill. Meanwhile, you get to, like, live it up with fucking all these fucking cool-ass dudes and shit. It's not fair. I do know that he was exiled, and he put some of the people that were exiled in, like, hell, because he thought it was funny. Also, so Wolf was not progress like I thought it was. Okay. It's still possible that progression is still locked behind Wolf, but it's Bat and Wolf for the secret tunnel. It's like finding your high school friends, like, I guess Tumblr account to find out that they've been talking mad shit about you behind your back to their oddly large Tumblr audience. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I know you didn't mention me by name, but you put in a character here, the main villain, Blagging Dlitz? I don't know, it feels a little on the nose, bud. Thought we were chill. Yeah, shoutouts to the Divine Comedies. Shoutouts to Dante. Hope you're doing well. Yo, what up, Mathias? I got rid of my mana prism. This is going to take me forever to climb up this shaft. Why do you think that centuries later you're only remembered by the self-insert fanfiction? I mean, like, yes, but also, I mean, they just did it different back then. Or I guess Dante specifically did it different back then. Like, I'm going to be so real. Call me a hater, but I don't think there's any poetry coming out in the next 100 years that ends up having nearly as much impact as the Divine Comedy. Call me a hater. I think the kids have moved on to TikToks or whatever. If you can't turn your mythological self-insert poem into a, 1 minute long TikTok, you're cooked. Get this guy out of here. Get Cthulhu out of my face. Badly Air. This doesn't have the upgraded Badly Air in it, does it? Nope. 24 damage. Anyways. We lost most of the ancient literature. That's one of the things that, honestly, fascinates me is just how today's society will be remembered in the future. And like thinking of the misattributations that'll happen and misunderstandings is going to be really funny. I forgot to fucking check, dude. I can backtrack for it, actually. It's not that bad, I think. Yeah, I'll just backtrack for it. Lovecraft didn't really have friends. Dude, the more I learn about Lovecraft, the more I'm kind of like, he fucking sucks. Like, he is truly a product of his time. Do I not have a thing to damage stack with? No, I do. Merman's okay. Huge damage stack. Yeah, from my understanding, it turns out he's just kind of like a paranoid racist that wrote some shit down that people thought was, like, scary and evocative. Which, I mean, it is. It's obviously scary and evocative. I don't know. It's the whole art from artist conversation, as always. Yeah. Lovecraft was on that, like, old school advanced racism, dude. Like, he was in, like, pro-racist lobbies. The shit we have these days is, like, so... Like, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of pro-racists still out there, but, like, they were cooking it up different back then. For sure. And even for the time, I'm pretty sure he was also somewhat an outlier in his beliefs. Like, I don't think most people thought the name of his cat was cute, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think people were like, "Aw, what a cute kitty, what's his name?" And then he said the name, and they were like, "That's so sweet." I think most people probably, first of all, he wasn't talking to people. Second of all, I don't think they were chill with it. So he was still a bit of an outlier, even for his own time. See, the thing about the Cthulhu anthology to me is, like, isn't most of it at this point no longer, like, have anything to do with the... Or at least it's... Like, how much of Lovecraft's influence is really on that shit now? Isn't that kind of like death of the author type shit? Like, when we talk about Lovecraftian horrors, it's like so much of what we absorb in the mythos of Lovecraft is, like, created by people who are inspired by it, but not, you know... They kind of just, like, took the aesthetics of it and ran with it and kind of, in a weird way, got to walk away scot-free from a lot of the weird shit that he was all about. It's still tied to him directly? Like, really? Like, basically, he can't pull a J.K. Rowling and be like, actually, Cthulhu is, like, he can't post hoc paint a picture of these ideas and characters. Like, they're truly beyond him now. I think that's, like, fine and normal to understand. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I ain't no sociologist. I'm just a dumbass who plays video games for a living. Show me the demon card. Let's go. And the quick grab. All right, so we have a few progression items back in the first castle. I'm thinking we have the warp. We can go back and try and cheese some faster progression here. And honestly, I'm kind of down. We might get baited here, and it's very possible that we get baited, but it is 9 complexity, and we have 2 progression items that we can check. So, fuck it, we ball. Why didn't nobody shoot Voldemort? I mean, yeah. On God, just bring a Blicky to class, bro. I mean, actually, don't clip that one out of context, actually. There's going to be people showing up at my house if you do that. In Minecraft. Fuck. Did I say it in time? Did I hit the QTE to not have the FBI show up at my house? Oh man, it's over. Was Castlevania not affected by copyright? I'm sure in a weird way they did their best to work around it. It's the reason like the Cthulhu enemy in this game is called Malachi, and Cthulhus are misspelled on purpose. Like there's a lot of allusions and references to like classic literary works. Like there's Tolkien references. There's like Granfloon, isn't that a that's another literary reference that I can't remember the name of. I forget the guy, but he shows up a few times in the Castlevania lore. But I think the main thing that comes from it is that they're kind of like nods and allusions to these things without like infringing on copyright for the most part. They also take a lot of like public domain shit and run with it. Like the concept of Dracula was public domain at that point, I'm pretty sure. When they did fucking Castlevania. It's part of the reason why Castlevania exists. Shout outs to public domain. I'm so glad that that's a thing. And there's no companies or entities trying to destroy the concept of it forever. Winnie the Pooh has been public domain for like a few years now, yeah. Nancy Drew's public domain, that's cool. Honestly, I think that's fair. I think Nancy Drew belongs to the people. Allow me to make money off of my Nancy Drew fan fiction that I definitely don't do in my free time. Steamboat Willie! Yeah, he's fucking public domain or whatever. Disney hates it. Burger. One soggy burger coming up. Yeah, nothing. Nobody has the right to hold on to intellectual property forever. That's what you think. Just wait until the lawyers show up and break your kneecaps. Or the Pinkertons, yep. Remember that one time Magic the Gathering sent Pinkertons to that one guy's house for getting access to product early and talking about it? It happens one time, and all of a sudden Wizards of the Coast is evil. Yeah, it was exactly one time and one time only. You guys are making this out to be like a big deal. Think of the corporations. Think of the profits. Come on, guys. No, but you don't understand. They made the Final Fantasy trading card set, so they're actually really cool. No, but like I get to play Cloud as my commander, so it's actually like fine. It's chill now. No, you don't understand the Avatar set, the SpongeBob screen grabs. Like, I know I'm not ruffling too many feathers by saying this because even Magic the Gathering fans fucking hate Wizards. They hate Hasbro more than anything, which is also fair. Hasbro can fucking suck a giant... whatever this guy's saying. You know what? I don't want to keep Nose Demon around. He has some interesting problematic views from the 90s that we don't talk about these days. That would be a good bit. Maybe not that good of a bit, actually. It's probably more frustrating and insensitive than it is funny. But like doing a mistranslation of the demon, Nose Demon's words to be like oddly, you know, pre-World War Japanese nationalist. And they just like gaslight people into thinking that it's just in Symphony of the Night. It's like, yeah, just in the vanilla game. You could just, like... Talking about, returning the Japanese Empire to its former glory? I don't know, it's kind of... Yeah, it's a bad bit, but my brain can't help me from propagate it. Speaking of propagation... How about I go propagate these nuts back into the second castle, because I got baited twice. And I was like, what are the odds we get baited twice? More likely than you'd think. Also, there's a solid chance that, like, Soul of Bat is just chilling in the second castle somewhere. I don't know. Those Devil got weird since the secret fairy boss showed up? Yeah. Someone counting progression? We could if we tried. It was Leapstone into Gravity Boots 2 into Jewel of Open 3 into Glasses 4, I think is where we're at. So we're still pretty early. And then the wolf was out of logic. It was acquired out of logic. So I thought there was a decent chance that something that we found early on here in the second castle would be part of the complexity chain. Yo, empty hand? Let's freaking go, gamers. You know what? Maybe there's a chance I want to do another vial stack somewhere. I don't know. Oh my god, finally, we can resist thunder. Can you not throw bombs at me, please? Thank you. Come on, man. Why'd you put spikes there? I'm trying to get past. Why would you put these, like, spikes falling from the ceiling? That seems a little inconsiderate. I didn't even consider it, actually. I didn't consider how fucked this room is going to be. You guys get your asses down here so I can brick you up, serious style. Can I get Mirror Curious so I don't get turned to stone, actually? I'm taking significantly more damage, but it's fine. Oh, I fucked it up. I fucking fucked it up, bro. There it is. Now this one's a little awkward because... Just gonna take me a while. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ow. Three. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I always thought it was, I always forget if it's 13 or 14. Damn it. Yo, is that the demon card? Demon card actually could still be part of the progression chain now that I think about it, just here in the second castle, I think. So I guess I should be heading towards the caverns that way. Have I played Silk Song? I got the bad ending in Silk Song. I want to go back and do the good ending at some point. I've just been honestly kind of lazy. But I enjoyed Silk Song a lot. Part of me feels bad that I haven't given it like the full like attention and time it deserves. Oh, that's another progression item here. So that could be progression. Yeah, Silk Song's cool. I think in a weird way, I still probably feel fonder about Hollow Knight OG, but I don't think it's like that different in the grand scheme of things. I think they're both very good games. But I think Hollow Knight was also like a game that I bounced off of so many times and then eventually fell in love with. So the fact that I'm maybe not head over heels about Silk Song means that I could still grow to love that game too if I gave it the proper time and energy. Also, I think I'm going to skip Library for now. It's the Dark Souls 2 of the franchise. Yeah, kind of. It's not exactly a one-to-one. I think it's better executed than Dark Souls 2 is compared to... And also, Dark Souls 1 is full of, honestly, horrific jank. Dark Souls 1 is an affront to God, but also one of the most important video games of all time, and we should all love and respect it. So it's not exactly the same. I wouldn't call it the Dark Souls 3, because Dark Souls 3 is the Dark Souls game that is worth caring about still to this day, IMO. Like, if you tell me I don't really like Dark Souls 1, I'll be like, yeah, that's fair. The game's a little obtuse and kind of annoying. If you told me, yeah, I don't really like Dark Souls 2, I'd be like, yeah, that's okay. The game is a little obtuse and annoying. There's soul with that. If you told me I don't like Dark Souls 3, I'd say, you're a freaking moron. You need to go to the re-education camp right now. I can't believe you would say something so awful and evil. Now, if you say you prefer Dark Souls 1 or 2 over Dark Souls 3, then you're a real one. That's fine. But if you don't like Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3, I mean, what more could they do? They gave you everything! Everything! If you can't find a Dark Souls game you like between 1, 2, and 3, then you messed up. That's on you, honestly. If you have a preference for 1 or 2 over 3, I think that's fair and reasonable. But if you can't find a game between Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 that you don't like, I think you're the problem. But streamer, I don't really like action RPGs that are difficult. Well, too bad. Get over it. The future is Dark Souls now. They'll say Bloodborne is better than all of them. Unless you played Bloodborne on a fucking 30, 50, 90 turbo mega computer, 60 FPS, 1440p, I disagree. Because guess what? I can play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 right now at a full 60 FPS.
Thinks I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
It's fine. Because all my opinions that I share on this stream are 100% serious and not played up for comedic opinions, comedic reasons. It's true. I'm always 100% serious. Now, you're allowed to not like the Dark Souls games. It's not that deep. I just personally think that Dark Souls as a series is such an important series to gaming as a whole.
Dark Souls 1 and 3 are peak. Other than that, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring are amazing.
I think one of the reasons I love the Dark Souls series so much is because they are, in a weird way, very much reminiscent of Castlevania, where it's like a very good idea, well executed, with a shit ton of jank that doesn't make any fucking sense, but you just learn to love it over time. Like, the idea and the concept is so strong that you can't help but love it, but then you ask yourself, why the fuck did they do this? Whose idea was this? And that, to me, is just very Castlevania. A game that creates its own genre has impact, but you don't have to like the product. No, you have to like Dark Souls, because my opinions are correct, and I like Dark Souls, and if you don't like everything that I like the exact way that I like it, you're wrong, bad, and stupid! And also, I hate woke for some reason. I don't know. Some streamer told me I'm supposed to hate woke. Let me stone this guy real quick. Give him a hit of the crazy shit. I wonder if Halbine Dagger is the vibe. Yeah, fuck it. 13 damage per hit. That's actually not that good. 82 damage. Huge crit. The quick grab when it lands on top of you. Yeah, we just go. Dark Souls does a good job of keeping its promise to a player, a thing that many games fail to uphold. Due to bad scaling or stuff that gets harder over time is due to HP padding of enemies. I mean, yeah, Dark Souls is more of an information game than anything. Like, Dark Souls is a puzzle game more than it is like an action RPG in a weird way. Because, like, if you just know how to solve the puzzle, the game is easy. But I don't think a lot of the solutions are intended by the developers. They just kind of exist. And they're fine with letting them exist for the most part. Like, part of enjoying Dark Souls is understanding that the game fucking hates you and is evil to you. So all's fair in love and war. Cheese the fuck out of that boss. Fucking summon a friendly ally. Do whatever you gotta do to get through this shit. Is there a way to buy SotN on PC? Nope. Does not exist. Konami does not sell Symphony of the Night on the personal computer. Why? Nobody knows. Technically, you need an Xbox and a PC to make it work. What do you need? What do you mean, an Xbox and a PC? Huh? I have no clue what you're talking about. Am I smoking that reefer? Am I not understanding the joke? I'm probably just not understanding the joke. Yo, is that the Eye of Vlad? Let's go. Glad I went back for this. I would love to wing smash around more, but I ain't got that much mana, to be honest. Like, that one wing smash is like half my bar. Xbox One lets you use your PC to cloud game on your Xbox to your own network. So it's still being run off of your Xbox One. It's just streaming the footage to your PC. At that point, I feel like it's a moot point to even bring it up. Personally, but I mean, I guess technically that's a way to do it. But in like the most unserious sense of the words. Saying that's playing SotN on PC is like saying that my fucking cup of coffee is a very poor sex toy. It's like not meant to be in that category. You're not meant to use it that way. Like, that's just a bad way to use the thing. No, why would you think that people want to play Symphony of the Night on their personal computers? Konami surely doesn't think that people want to do that. Uh-oh. I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. Okay, we're good. I was worried we were about to get the fucking skull phase of Infinite Doom. This guy can actually be scary if we let him hit us, so let's not do that. Oh, fuck, I got platform canceled, bro. Can you stop? I'm pretty sure if I get hit by one of the scythes, it does, like, triple the damage. Not even close. There we go. Cube of Zoe, that's also another progression item, potentially. God damn it, bro. So we have Holy Glasses, we have... Oh, this as a possible... There's so many progression options. How is this Complexity 9? Very strange. Hello?
あら、このスイッチはまだ押してなかったわね。じゃあ行くよ。ポチッとな。
Yeah, again, censor all of that. We're not allowed to broadcast those words. Dragon Blitz Incorporated does not condone the views of Nose Demon. Okay, so Demon card was not part of the progression. Yeah, if you want an official way to play SotN, you can still play the Xbox version. It's still purchasable, but you can technically also still download it on your 360. The way you have to do it is really annoying because you have to buy it with your Xbox account, and then there's some way to get your Xbox account to like accept your Xbox 360 to accept purchased items from your Xbox account and then download them. So you can still play it on 360, but it's just easier if you have Xbox One or Xbox Series S or X, because those are just set up automatically to just download it directly from the store. Yeah, I think pretty much everybody these days just plays on emulator. Very few people actually go out of their way to buy the original PlayStation version and play on a original console. You guys, since we have the Spirit Orb, we get to actually see how broken the Rock Knight enemies are. For whatever reason, if you hit the rock, they just have no iframes and they just take damage every single frame. It's very funny. Yeah, there is also the physical disc version of the 360 version as well, the Konami Classics disc. But to my understanding, it doesn't actually run the game off of the disc. It kind of just like downloads it to your 360 from the disc, which I guess is like basically the same thing. But the Konami Classics disc version is basically the same exact thing as the digital 360 version, the arcade port. Is the PSP version good compared to SotN on PS1? I say no, because there's a lot of differences that I personally don't like about it. However, if it's your only option to play SotN, most people do not really notice nor care about the differences to the gameplay or the story or the dialogue or anything. I think it's a worse version, but many people play it and say it's just fine. I disagree that it's just fine. I think it's quite a bit worse, but to explain exactly why it's worse would get into talking about how the original game actually functions on a more deeper level, and most people don't really know nor care. So So if you don't really know or care about how the game functions on a deeper level, you can just enjoy the PSP version just fine, probably. But it does control worse. It does have, in my opinion, worse artwork and mechanics in slight ways. And then I obviously don't like the voice acting changes. One of the things that people don't talk about in the PSP version is how bad the fucking sound effects are. Like, the sound in that version of the game is so terrible. Everything just sounds like high-pitched and whiny and tinny. It's just wrong. Damn thing's wrong. Also, I'm gonna die to fucking cave trolls. That's not even to mention that the 3D effects on the PSP version look worse. The actual gameplay feels worse because they removed a button for transformations and then added this weird buffer system to like make up for it, but in doing so, like, just ruined a lot of what makes the game fun to control, in my opinion. But I'm also way more sensitive to that sort of things because I'm a speedrunner. So, is that final, Vlad? There ain't no way. Because I don't think that's high enough. Oh, I guess maybe Wolf is a high enough step for that to be final, Vlad. Interesting. So we're just missing Heart of Vlad, which could be a random. Very interesting. So yeah, we have a few checks in entrance. So let's go do this. I think there's nothing wrong with playing the PSP version as like a curiosity. Like if you want to check out that version of Maria, primarily that's like the big thing in my mind. That's like interesting about that version. But even then, playing as Maria on the PSP version is not like, I wouldn't call it fun, but it's definitely an experience. Like, I've had a similar view on like cut content or additional content being added to a game, where it's like Symphony of the Night is a game that a lot of people, I think, lament the cut content in a lot of weird ways, especially because the Saturn version like adds content to the game that isn't necessarily cut content, but kind of it expands upon the things that were alleged to be cut from the game, like the underground garden and stuff like that, even though it wasn't a literal design from the original developers. It was a different team that put it in the game for fun. It's kind of like a fan-made, not fan-made because it was official, but, you know, not from the original developers. But it's like, if let's say you want to play, what's like a class, let's say Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. From the Nintendo Entertainment System. But all of a sudden Miyamoto says, I'm releasing Super Mario Bros. Definitive Edition. And the game is just like slightly buggier and like looks worse, sounds worse, but he added 3 new levels. And those 3 new levels are just like pictures of Miyamoto's face in the background and like one Koopa. Would you be like, yeah, that's the definitive version of the game. We have to play that version of the game because they added the 3 new levels? Or would you say, yeah, this new content's kind of ass. I don't really care. I'm going to just play the original. There are people who unironically would say, no, there's new content in the Miyamoto's face version with 3 Koopas, so we have to play. That is the official, like, definitive version. That's how I feel about the Saturn version and somewhat, additionally, the PSP versions. Like, yes, there's more content technically, but is the content very interesting or engaging or fun? No. So is it really the definitive versions of those games? In my mind, no. Nintendo's done every evil you can think of. That is true. They did re-release Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the Game Boy Color, which is kind of that in a weird way, but much better, obviously. You know what I'm gonna do? Watch this. I'm gonna ask him a question. Oh god, don't die to fucking flies. I'm out of fucking shit to throw at his face. Hold on. We have to try. I don't have poison immunity. I don't have a lot of things. It's fine. Okay, we're gonna die. Unless... Never mind, we're chilling. I should have grabbed the life max up in hindsight, but we've done everything except for the library, the catacombs, and the mist checks. So I think I'm pretty happy to just leave. Go back to Castle 1 and just try and find our way to the end of the game. Where's my weapon? Oh, there it is. I'm missing the secret fairy boss fight. You're not wrong. Yeah, we have holy glasses. We have the jewel sword check. And we have the Alucard's room check. Apparently, I also forgot a check in catacombs. The definitive discussion happened with Tactics 2. I mean, it happened in a weird way because a lot of people consider War of the Lines to be the definitive edition, but the original developers of Final Fantasy Tactics saw War of the Lions and was like, that's some like bullshit that we didn't put in the original game. Like that wasn't part of the game. Like that's not how we envisioned the game to go. So there's this weird question where it's like, is it the definitive version of the game because it has more content, even if the original developers consider it like not part of their original vision? Even if it is also an official version of the game. It's very complicated, honestly. Also, I need to find a stopwatch. Yeah, the save check next to the start of Catacombs. Maybe I do that first? I don't know. Also, I don't know if the integrated randomizer has the same failsafe about the, what's it called? The, stopwatch locations. But don't you dare use Dark Knight or Unite. Yeah, I know. Look, I get it. It's weird. The Final Fantasy Tactics HD remaster, whatever the fuck it's called, it is a weird port. I get it. Why not put the Mystic Pendant on? Because I already got other stuff boosting my stats. And I'm level 1, so I need good stats. I don't know. I'm genuinely conflicted about those types of ideas, because then also you have the question of like, well, if it gets people to like enjoy the game in like 90%, it's like correct, quote unquote, form, then is that still good though? I don't know. Yeah, it's a shame that games be like that sometimes. Stopwatch? Okay, so this does not have... So we're going to have to go hunting for a stopwatch. I guess while we do that, we can go to the caverns and go to the catacombs and do that check. Maybe the entrance and do the check over there as well. Because I think we might need to find Mist to find the missing Vlad that we're looking for. Ads are going to start here in a second because this run's taking a while. So let me just be right back. Oh, stop walking into fire! It's hot! Fire is hot! Ah, fire burn! Ah! It's true. Dude, it's so hot today. Oh, man. Thank you, King Carphead. Yeah, I did check in on the cats to make sure that they're not overheating, because it's a very hot day. And I do not have central AC, so they're doing fine. They both found some pretty cool places to hang out, so that's good. Yeah, we're running some window units, and they're doing their damnedest. Yeah. The weather's been crazy, am I right, fellas? Yo, is that form of mist? Finally. Thought you left Florida to get away from that shit? I mean, in a way, yeah, but also, it's probably way worse in Florida right now, if I had to guess. Global warming, but I thought it snowed earlier this year, so we have mist. Mist will likely get us the snorkel, but I guess I'd go back to castle entrance, yeah. Just hit up the warp real quick. Some mats in the freezer, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Like, the AC units are doing their best. See, it's a long 82 breaks. I mean, I kind of knew this was going to be a longer one. I'm also not playing, like, super fast and optimal. I'm kind of just chilling. I wanted today to be a day where we kind of just, like, do some more chill stuff. Nothing too serious. I think we've been doing a lot of, like, serious any % grinding and, like, obviously before that we were doing, like, serious tournament grinding. I kind of wanted to find some ways to do some more casual, chill stuff. Like, fun challenge runs like this, even though this hasn't been that much of a challenge, all things considered. How do you slide far with a dive kick? When you land on the ground with your dive kick, first of all, you need to dive kick close to the ground so you don't go into this animation where Alucard, like, kind of does this, like, hard fall animation where you can't move afterwards. If you avoid that animation and when you hit the ground, you let go of forward and down, then you'll get the front slide. If you are still holding down or forward, you'll just get a crouch. If you're just holding forward, you'll just walk. So dive kick close to the ground and let go of all the directions on the D-pad. Easy peasy. You too can front slide like the best of them with this hot tech. Oh, I should be breaking open the candles. I'll break them on the way back. Imagine if the candles weren't randomized. Oh. Front slides are very cool. This is correct and true. Yo, is that the strength of 24 men? Wow, 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 wow. Oh, there's so many candles, dude. I have to check so many candles, dude. Give me the stopwatch, please. My favorite part of playing Symphony of the Night is looking for the stopwatch, hoping that it provides me the things that I need to progress. It's very unlikely that I need it, but I think what we're missing is probably a rando Vlad, and the places that we have left to check are few and far between to find a rando Vlad. Give me the peanuts. The peanuts is what I said. I hope the auto-generated captions caught that one. Peanuts. 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 What'd you say? But can I request the input display? Yeah, I'll show you. I don't care. I just don't have a lot of room for it on this layout because it's like overlapping on top of everything, but I can show it. So yeah. So when you're front sliding, I'll use the D-pad so it's obvious. You use dive kick and then make sure that you're not touching anything when you land on the ground. That's all. You want to make sure you're doing it close enough to the ground. If you're too high up, it doesn't matter. You'll just get that hard fall animation like that. Like, I wasn't pressing anything, but I was too high up. So just do it close to the ground. And you, too, can be a dick-slinging, front-sliding master. Hope this helps. Make sure to subscribe for more Symphony of the Night movement tutorials. And Communist Revolution propaganda. I can go check the missed checks, even though I know that they are likely to not be that useful. But I first want to check the missing check in the catacombs. Yeah. We go where the snake lies. For some reason, I just went down here and completely forgot to do this. Very important. Crucial, even. What? Ah, I've entered a nightmare realm of my own fears and manifestations of horror. And also, Pyramid Head is here for some reason? What? Zweihander. Okay. Well, let's get out of here, Scoob. I'm fucking scared. My dead wife is here for some reason, but with a different name, and she's like really hot now.
I'm interested. I'm interested.
Boy, oh boy, I sure do love my wife. I sure hope nothing bad happens to her.
Thank you. Farewell for now.
Oh man, if someone just like smothered her with a pillow, I'd be so upset. I'd kill whoever did that. There, Ernie, let's go do all the missed checks. We don't have enough MP. Wait, do I have Power of Mist? I'm good. Never mind, we're chilling. Yo, awesome. I should still be breaking open candles, actually, now that I think about it. Because I still need to find that stopwatch. Because there's 2 checks that the stopwatch might be required for. But also, I can kind of just hope that I don't need to. It's very possible that we don't need the stopwatch. But I'll break a few candles on the way, I guess, just to be safe. Stop watching. You got it, boss. Closes out of the stream, unsubscribes. Posts my address on the internet. Oh, yeah, the cross shuriken? Also, hear me out. They call it the cross shuriken. Are there types of shurikens that are not in the shape of a cross? Is that, like, redundant? Yes? Oh, never mind. The more I knew. I've never seen a shuriken that doesn't have the shuriken shape. 5-star ones? Oh, I guess that makes sense, actually. Never mind. I'm a moron. I had to think about it for 0.2 seconds, and I could have figured that out on my own. Okay, triangle shuriken, you're just making shit up. Yeah, I mean, I should do Silver Ring before I go. There's also the German-looking ones. Oh, no! Wait, is that real? Surely it's more of like a Buddhist thing. Although I don't know how many Buddhist ninjas there were. Like historically? They had Buddhist ninjas? Looking like the ghost from Kid Dracula type shit? Do not look those up. German ninjas, those were everywhere. Yeah, a lot of them ended up in Argentina for some reason. Very weird. Maybe we should, like, I don't know, look into that or something. Maybe there's some, like, historical context behind. Nope, we're just going to move on. Oh, okay, that's fine. Maria's got no drip. Oh, there it is. So that's the progression that leads to Wolf, which leads to one of the Vlads that I found. Okay. Which I think is Final Vlad now. Man, we've been playing this shit for 2 hours and 20 whole minutes? Let's go. You know, sometimes it's fun to just mess around in this game, and this was a good excuse to do that, that's for sure. I don't have enough MP for a wing smash. Never mind, this game fucking sucks and I hate it. If I can't play this game exactly the way that I want to, I'm gonna complain and cry about it. Wah, wah, wah. My favorite ninja is a turtle. True. Not to be like weird or anything, but can I get some maybe like fully grown turtles that happen to be ninjas? Like, it's cool that they're, like, you know, doing so much at their age, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I just don't need to be here. Debug tourney when? Depending on who you ask, it's already happened. Oh, fuck. Yeah, where are my role models? Like the middle-aged Ninja Turtles. Retirement home Ninja Turtles. I'm sure that joke's already been made. In fact, I'm actually thinking of a Robot Chicken sketch actually in my brain right now. That is just that. Damn, I am unoriginal. You know, the more you know. Thank you, Ali. That's some good info in there. Maybe I should, although actually I was going to say maybe I should get into learning more about like feudal Japan and its like weaponry, and then I realized that sounds really bad for like there's definitely a type that gets way too into feudal Japan's history of war and weaponry and such. Like as a white guy, I don't want to add to the stereotype is what I'm saying. Like I don't want any part of that. I don't want to know about the Bushido blade or its honor. Like I think I'm fine not being another white guy who's interested in that shit, actually. Yeah, the FBI might put me on a list. I'm from Florida, all right? I know many white guy with ponytail assaulting the Taco Bell at 4 a.m. with a friggin' katana. That is not just a stereotype, it is real. I went to school with some of those guys. I think enough people are studying the blade. I don't need to study the blade. I can look up the spark notes on the blade. I don't need to study it. I trust that there are other people in society studying the blade, so I no longer need to study it. Like, we all can't specialize in everything. And yet you can't help but try and max out Muramasa. About that.
I'm interested in this.
I bet there was a tax-paying Ninja Turtle action figure. They made in the 90s figures for almost everything, ha ha ha.
Whoa, Donatello files a W-2? Man, I got Leonardo with a 1099. I got a rock. I figured they would assault Taco Bell with an alligator. Well, that's also happened before. You joke, but that has happened before. I need to keep the stopwatch safe and sound. In fact, I am going to turn off the Kibuzoe. I'm going to go check the Alucard mail or Alucard mail. Check. Where's that Twilight Cape? I forget which one it is. It's Twilight Cape. I'm going to go check Twilight Cape. And then after that, go to the reverse library, I think. And then reverse catacombs. And then at that point, I think we've 100% of the game. Yeah. Pretty much. That's 100% of the game. It's when you get your taxes pre-calculated for you. Well, how does it feel to be in a civilized society that actually cares about bettering the lives of its citizens? Oh, so nice. You're telling me that Intuit hasn't caught up to your society yet and forced insane legislation to make filing your taxes more tedious and complicated than it ever needs to be? Invading Cuba is good for you. That's what I've been told. And who am I to have an opinion? I usually let the mainstream media make up my opinion for me. Yo, was that fire a bat? PogChamp. Dude, pre-calculated taxes? That would go so hard. That'd be awesome, man. Taxes? You can take that money from my cold, dead hands. Barb, grab the food stamps. We're spending extra big at Taco Bell tonight. There's my coworker's thought like that. Who am I to have an opinion? No, dude. I listen to this podcast, all right? Boo! If you ever hear someone say those words, you should turn your ears off. Now I want Taco Bell. Hashtag ad. Hashtag sponsored. Hashtag chalup it up. Hashtag give me money for selling products now. Hungry pizza for me. You thought I wasn't going to be a hungry guy? You thought I wouldn't get a slice? I'm a poser. I haven't had Taco Bell in fucking ages, bro. I'm gonna be so real. Eat my balls! That's gonna be a new sub alert. I already know it. That's kind of an old sub alert at this point. Thank you, Heretic, for the prime. Or Heretic. However you want me to emphasize the syllables. That's your choice. Yo, what up, Seto? Hope you've been well, my dude. Y'all ever see a Jacko Bones duplicate itself, go through mitosis? Yo, Arin Muramasa with a tier 1, much appreciated. I went wrong way. Shouts to the classic fart with reverb. Where would we be without it? No, there's nothing wrong with watching or listening to podcasts. I'm just being a douchebag when I say don't listen to people who listen to podcasts. It's like the bad ones give a really bad rap for the concept of podcasts. Oh, there we go. We're in go mode. It only took 2.5 hours. Yeah, me, on the other hand, this is not a podcast. Me uploading daily free-form thoughts from my brain whilst the ASMR of SotN plays in the background, not a podcast. It's something very different. When I do it, it's epic and based. When they do it, it's cringe and soy or whatever.
Oh, the stone skull, it crushes me.
Co-op race still on the table? I'm down. The co-op race will be like way faster than this. It is still funny to think of soy as an insult in the year 2026. I think most people use it ironically as hell because they understand how funny it is. I mean, I'm using it as ironically as hell. Magnesium? Well, a lot of people are really into zinc these days. Don't ask why. These people still exist? I mean, yes, but like, I don't know. What do you want me to do about it? I can't throw them all in the re-education camps. They're not large enough. There was a meme not too long ago about men taking zinc supplements for the sake of enhancing their production capabilities. They're trying to produce someone like our good friend here, Major Seaman. I'm referring to the user who is in my chat and not a copious amounts of straight jizz. Strength potion, go! Attack potion, go! The strength of 24 men! Go! Is there a better weapon I could be using here? Probably not. If I take too much damage, I die? Should I be concerned about this? I got Fire Shield, we're chilling. That's actually a lot of damage for level 1. But that is with, like, every buff in the game, so. All right, let's finish this once and for all. Dracula, I'll use the power of the 24 men beating inside of me. Vigorously filling me with their strength to defeat you. Alucard, those are inside thoughts? I didn't need to know that. I don't think this is a one cycle. I don't think 109 is enough damage to one cycle. I forget what the cutoff is. It's like 120 something is a one cycle. How much zinc did the 24 men take? Well, they got to stay healthy. It's a very important supplement, you know. Apparently. Yeah, my damage fell off, but it doesn't matter. The 69 damage for the win. Let's go. JG's YouTube. If you watched this whole thing and didn't fall asleep to it, like, comment, subscribe, join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye-bye.